Welcome everyone again to Finance Magnates interviews. Today we have Andreas here with us, Director and CEO of Convertico Media. Welcome Andreas, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Andrea.
We're inviting Andreas today to pick up his brain on how to market in the finance industry from someone that is specialized in this niche. So Andreas, tell us a little bit, how is marketing like in the finance industry?
Oh. It challenges me as an individual and as a marketeer, and it keeps me going.
Challenges every day are different. There is a lot of different brands out there. Everyone has something different to offer, right?
True, and one of the things that I've been really saying about marketing in the finance industry is that this industry changes all the time. It's
Yeah,
shifting,
true.
and I feel that we're lucky enough to be in this industry and to be able to experience all of this
And in Cyprus.
in Cyprus. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, which, being one of the centers in the European Union now with the regulation for the finance industry that is strong enough, it concentrates a big amount of the brands of our industry in here.
True.
Yeah. Do you think the number of brands is going to increase now that
Definitely. Think
UK
so.
has gone out, Brexit?
Especially with the Brexit and everything, I
Yeah.
see more and more brokers coming over here.
Yeah. You've seen an increase. Do you see a higher demand in Cyprus?
Definitely, yeah. Especially over the past months, there's a big number of brokers who've applied for the SISEC license as well. They want to move into Cyprus. They want to get the SISEC license and be able to market their product into Europe, which is great for Cyprus.
So how did Convertico came to be? How did it all
Oh.
started?
Listen, I've been working in the forex industry for about 11 years now,
Wow.
and I started as a marketeer in a few of the local, let's say, reputable forex brokers we have here on the island. I was during, let's say, the first four to 5 years of my career, so I was able to get a lot of experience marketing-wise and see many different things. And at some point, me and my partners at Convertico Media today, this was about 7 years ago, we saw a big gap in the market. We saw that, brokers, especially startup brokers, could not find an agency, a marketing agency that's specialized in this industry. A marketing agency that could speak the forex language, let's say. So there is a lot of marketing agencies out there, but not all of them understand forex or finance the way we do. So we saw this gap and we decided that it was about time to take all of this experience that we have accumulated over the years, working for several brokers, and create a marketing agency that could really help startups, even established brokers, grow. And even, I would say, fintech companies, payment service providers, technology, liquidity providers. And this is what we have been doing for the past 7 years, almost 7 years.
7 years.
Almost 7 years, yeah.
Wow. So in your experience from all these 7 years, what are the specific needs of the finance industry companies marketing wise?
The specific needs.
I mean, what are their challenges, what do you see they need? What do they come to you with
Listen,
requests?
we actually help a lot of brokers. There's two type of brokers for me. There's a startup broker, somebody who's just starting and needs help with their strategy, with to create their brand, their website, their content, social media, videos, all of these things.
So basically everything from scratch.
Everything, the whole thing, yeah. And then there's established brokers who have been around for longer. They're having difficulties adjusting, let's say, to the modern times. Um, so it really depends on the kind of, let's say, phase broker is at the moment. With startups, what I see is that they usually they're having difficulties with identity-related issues, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
While with the brokers that have been around for longer, the established ones, they're having difficulties adjusting to the millennial era, let's say. They're having difficulties communicating their message to the millennials.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I would say these are the two main challenges that I see with these two type of brokers at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And so, considering the needs that all different kinds of brokers have, and I assume the rest of providers, um, I'm assuming that from Convertico, basically, you offer a turnkey solution
Yep.
with solutions for each one of those different types of clients, brokers, technology providers, payment processors, etc., etc. So you can cater the needs of both startups and established brokers.
Indeed, yeah. Actually, I mean, besides being uh, specialized, let's say, in the finance industry, our team is built in a way, I mean, our setup and everything, that enables our clients to, it actually enables us to become an extension of our clients' companies.
Mm-hmm.
So we essentially become their marketing departments, their outsourced marketing departments.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to work with them to do all sorts of things that they need marketing wise, from strategies to, I mean, from planning to execution,
Mm-hmm.
advertising, PRs, SEO, PPC, you name it. And I think that's one of the main reasons,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, apart from the expertise and the experience that we have in this industry, that's one of the main reasons that our clients choose us. Um,
So, how? What's the size of your portfolio at the moment? How many clients would you say you have right now from
Listen,
the
over
industry?
the past 7 years, can say that we've worked with over 150 brokers or companies related to this industry, like liquidity providers, technology companies, payment service providers, and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So more than 150 companies have trusted Convertigo Media to either do, you know, from the smallest project to the biggest project.
Mm-hmm. So you deal not only with digital marketing, but you also deal with offline
Yeah,
marketing.
digital is our main focus. To be honest, it is the main thing that we do. We believe in the 360 approach of things. So, oftentimes there will be things in the mix in the strategies that we'll do for our clients that are offline as well.
So regarding these strategies, what would you say is the most efficient way to advertise in the finance industry? I mean, I do understand that
Hmm.
there's different verticals, and you have, the brokers that have one type of strategy, and the liquidity providers that there is institutional, there is B2B, there is B2C, but it's all within the finance industry anyway. Is there any specific kind of strategies that you see are more efficient?
Yeah, listen, it really depends on who the client is, who their what their product is like, because we may have a lot of brokers here, a lot of technology providers, etc. But uh, depending on the case, there's always a small differentiating factor.
Mm-hmm.
So some of these brokers, some of these fintech companies, some of these payment service providers, etc., uh, have a niche, let's say, or have a new thing in their offering that hasn't been available so long, you know, etc. So uh, it really depends on who they are, what they are offering, and who they'd like to market it to. One of the things that uh, I really think is important um, is that no matter who you are, no matter when you started, etc., you need to invest in building brand awareness. That's the first step to success. I see a lot of companies being very, rushing things, and they want to generate leads from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's heard of them, nobody knows them. It's really difficult to trust somebody that hasn't been around for a long time, that has practically zero brand awareness. So it all starts from building your brand awareness, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So would you then extend that to saying that the best ROI for a company when it comes marketing wise is reflected on the brand awareness?
Um, Listen, it really depends. If you um, we have to speak about that ROI as ROI in terms of the marketing channels used, I would say no. Brand awareness is important, is probably the most important thing that you need to do. It's sort of a foundation, let's say. But when it comes to return on investment, the two things that stand out is SEO by far. It's a very low cost thing to do, and if you do it right, it has some long term benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say number two is probably email marketing because again, it's low cost to do. There's no advertising budgets involved. So in terms of ROI, these two are usually the top performing. And then on position three, I would place paid search ads by far.
I have not noticed in any of the items you have discussed any offline activities like events or some sort of seminars, etc. Is this because of the COVID situation that you see a trend going into digitalization, or is it just the way you see it?
No, it's probably because me as a marketeer, I'm more oriented towards the digital marketing side of things, let's say. But it's also because it's been long proven that SEO and email marketing have the highest ROI. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that these two are the best two, let's say, tactics a broker or a fintech company could use in their strategy. Just means that these two are probably the ones that will give you the highest ROI. You know?
You're when you mention the ROI, I assume you're mentioning based on the cost of the actual element
Exactly,
that
yeah.
you're paying for on a flat rate, and then seeing the exact return
Correct, yeah.
you're getting on it. So how would you measure the ROI, for example, of an event?
You wouldn't really be able to measure it exactly. But what I would say is that things like this add value to the overall brand. They help increase brand awareness. They help communicate, your message across a number of audiences. Usually, these can be it's difficult to measure them, but one of the things that I've been um, really, let's say, feeling that is, probably the most right way to somehow measure it is through, you see your brand awareness. You actually have no way to say what's my brand awareness today. I don't know. Is it like one, two,
Ask
three?
around.
Ask around. So you may go out and ask people, have you heard of us before? No. Okay. We have a no. Have you heard of us before? Yeah. Yes, etc. That's one way, I guess, to measure brand awareness. Another way to measure brand awareness, and this is something that we use, and it really is a strong signal, is through the, let's say, historical data that Google holds. So you can go on Google and you can check how many search queries finance magnates had over the past year. You can search how many search queries a given, forex broker had over the past 12 months or so in a given country or whatever. So that is a small signal if you think about it. So you start with 1,000 search queries a year, then it's 1,000 search queries a month, then it's 1,000 search queries a week. This means that your brand awareness is improving. So I guess that's probably one way to see how your brand awareness is improving.
Yeah, so digitalization has been one of the main trends in the last year or so, and it's your forte actually. But could you give any 3 tips, just choose 3, for all of our audience on how to market their brand in this industry?
If I had to pick 3 things, I would say number 1, invest in brand awareness. Number two, use digital marketing to communicate your key messaging and to drive targeted traffic to your website. Number three, I would say turn your website into a 24/7 sales representative. That's probably the top three tips that I would give out to our
We're-
friends.
I think if we get into the last one that you mentioned about turning your website into a 24/7 salesperson, we would get too much into technical details.
Definitely.
So we'll leave it at that. But of course, you're available for any questions anybody may have
Absolutely.
about how to make this happen. Actually,
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you so much for coming, Andreas. It's
You're
been a
welcome.
pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you, Andrea.